Well, joining us now for even more on this story is Jim Dale. He's a senior meteorologist at the British Weather Services. And morning to you, Jim.
Good morning, Angela.
Good morning. Start by telling us, if you will, what we can expect from this second storm. Eunice, she sounds like a right madam, doesn't she?
Yeah, she does. And she's well out at sea at the moment, out in the Atlantic, some 2,000 miles away. So when you look on the satellite, you think, oh, it's just a lump of cloud. But this lump of cloud is going to develop and it's going to move and it's going to intensify. And by 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, it will be on over Southwest Island. So they're going to get it first. They're going to get the impacts first. Then that low centre will move northeasterly. It will end up going out into the North Sea at the end of the day. But it's the daytime, and this is the problem with this storm. It's a daytime event, and not just that. It's going to affect primarily, I'm going to say Northern Ireland, looking at the chart just above me here, Northern Ireland, Wales and England in the main. And the isobars are very, very tight on its southern flank and the northwesterly flank as it moves through. So 60, 70, 80 mile an hour gusts in general, and that's just the general sort of picture. The coast of Wales, maybe southwest England, could well see 100 mile an hour gusts, which is quite exceptional.
Storms of this magnitude seem to be becoming a feature of winter these days. What do you think is causing it? Do we need to use the two words climate change?
Yeah, I knew you were going to come up with that one. Look, storms are storms. We've had them for a long time and we'll continue to have them. The number of them, I don't know. I think we're probably reaching at just above our ratio for what you might call a class winter. In other words, we would normally see 3, 4, 5 storms. It's about where it would be. The problem with these things, it's not so much the number of them and whether they happen or not. It's what happens on top. In other words, how much more do you get out of when you add in a little bit of climate change? Do we get to a certain point where they become so severe that it really is a danger to life, which this one is? And we're actually saying to people, if you don't need to travel tomorrow, then don't. We're even saying if schools need to think they should close, it might be a wise decision. Business is the same. Better to be safe than sorry, because this is really going to ravage the country through the daytime. It's going to be very, very difficult on the travel, on the roads and rail and obviously the ferries and things like that are probably not going to operate.
Saw from those spectacular photographs just now, the waves on the coast become absolutely enormous, don't they? What do you have to say to people to persuade them not to be thrill seekers, to go and walk their dogs on the beaches, to go and try and take selfies in front of those waves? Because it always ends in tragedy somewhere, doesn't it?
Yeah, it kind of does, doesn't it? They put themselves in harm's way, and we're absolutely saying the opposite. Take yourself out of harm's way. Staying in is probably the best policy. It's one of those things you don't like people to be prevented. But the problem with this is we put warnings out, such as the amber, and we've got a red watch, as I mentioned. They'll take that warning and then they'll put it in the back pocket and carry on as usual. Well, it's not carrying as usual. There will be things flying around tomorrow, objects, trees falling, that type of thing. So if you go walking in woods or forests and things like this, which I often do, but I won't be doing that tomorrow, I can assure you. So all we're going to do is keep stressing the dangers that are going to be brought about by this particular storm. And as I say, it will go out of the way. You have to be patient about these things. But by Saturday, even later in the day on Friday, or the evening, I should say, it should be moving away and things will calm down a little bit into the weekend.
Thank you very much indeed for that update. Everybody stay safe.